Honorable Ssemujju.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for clarifying, because the Honorable Numbers, I share her understanding of your communication, i.e., that your communication until you clarify it meant that Parliament is helpless. That's why I'm thanking you for clarifying. I have been here for a while. There was a time a colleague was arrested in total violation of the Constitution. The Speaker of Parliament then said, we will suspend the sitting of Parliament until that MP is released. And the Parliament was suspended and he was released. Mr. Speaker, I fear when you say that our power stops just by talking. And I also fear, Mr. Speaker, when you limit the judgment of the Supreme Court to the parties. This judgment is for the whole country and is for everybody to do under Article 3 of the Constitution whatever it takes to defend the Constitution. You see, the trouble is that we may think this is limited to Besigye and Ajobed Dutare and L.O.P supporters who are there. There will be a time when they will be coming for you. I told you in Ruzira where I was, Jim Mwezi had been. So was Gilbert Bukenya. Kutesa nearly came. I saw the other day when Honorable Akamba was being grabbed as a chicken thief. These things, the reason we must fight, they are not limited to the victims of today. Tomorrow you are going to be the victim. Wait, Honorable Bua, when they are taking you and you are crying. I visited Honorable Kurisi Wariomus at Jinja Road. They had even denied him slippers, that giant man. And the Honorable Nabukenya here is the one who stood surety for Kurisi.
Point of order.
Right Honorable Speaker, I have always attempted to live within the laws of the land. Is it in order for my honorable colleague to wish me bad luck in anticipation of me? Is it in order really?
I think these are issues we can resolve under Matoput arrangement. And, But Honorable Ssemujju, I just beg for one thing, okay? Make it very easy for me. What do you want us to do as Parliament? In practical terms.
I have a motion, Mr. Speaker, to suspend the sittings of Parliament. I thought we have discipline. If one MP is speaking, even if you want, here people speak by expressing interest. They don't shout like they are in a market.
Now I don't know, on record, I don't know whom we can record that you are quarreling with.
It is very difficult.
So, Honorable Ssemujju, continue.
It is very difficult, Mr. Speaker, to record the people who are shouting like my neighbor from Kabola. It's very difficult. But the point I am making, and I am sorry if the Honorable Government Whip took it that way, but where you are seated, Besigye used to sit as the State Minister for Internal Affairs. He actually was the chief. He was political commissar of the party where they have accommodated you. He started it by risking his own life. So when I am inviting you, I am not undermining you. I am only reminding you that one day they may treat you the way they are treating Besigye. So that's the point I made.
But
so
wish him well. Wish him well.
No, I want to invite him to join the war to defend the Constitution. I don't have to wish him well. So if you defend the Constitution, you will not be a victim. But even if I wish you well, I wish Besigye well every day. I didn't know he would be in Ruzira.
So, honorable colleagues, please time.
My motion, Mr. Speaker, is that you suspend the sittings of Parliament until government commits itself to full implementation of the judgment of the Supreme Court.
But there is a motion on the floor. Yes. The motion does not fall within the ambits of 59(1)(k). Yeah, so I'm sorry about that.
Procedure.
You read rules of motions without notice. Okay? So, please, let me allow Honorable Jonathan Odur.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in my thinking, when we sit in this house, we expect the executive to be answerable to the issues and that has been raised by members from both sides. I really empathize with you, Mr. Speaker, when I see you are laboring to explain things that are really not in your hands, and we have a competent bench of ministers here. Who are the ones responsible for execution, including holding people on remand and releasing them? The orders that the Supreme Court made, and I've picked one, and for me, the orders of the Chief Justice, given that he's the one who wrote the lead judgment, the rest of the justices agreed with him and added. One was that the files, the cases be transferred. Now, the lawyers who are here know that once that order is made, the registries, we would have expected the court-martial registry to write a cover letter with all the files to the chief registrar if they don't know which particular court to transfer. So, we are blessed with the presence of the Attorney General here. And it is now day 3 of that. We expect the Attorney General to update us that so far we have transferred this number of files, or by tomorrow we would have transferred this number of files, so that at least we are comforted that some steps, because on that particular, I'm not talking about release. I'm not talking about release. I'm talking about the transfer, which is outside of files, which is not in the realms of the two parties. I expect the Attorney General to address us on that matter so that we don't go back and forth, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, I think, Honorable Jonathan, you've made it very easy. The problem, a member cannot come on point of procedure, I go to the minister to answer. Because procedure is for me, how I'm running the house here. So the colleagues, the questions they were asking were all on procedure. But I think this should have been the question. Honorable Attorney General, update us. You updated us yesterday, we understand, but what are the new developments? So Attorney General? Yeah. And honorable colleagues, I've closed procedure on this matter. On this matter, I have closed procedure. Please.
Honorable Speaker, I firstly want to implore you to tap into your patience abilities, and I know you can really be patient. I just want to encourage you to bear with the members and exercise a lot more of the patience which I credit you for having. Our roles in this house are 4 cardinal roles. Number 1 is legislation. Number 2 is oversight. Number 3 is the budgetary process. Number 4 is representation. Honorable Speaker, in this house, members raise anything and everything for as long as they are representing, even if it is one individual. And that's why members keep raising this issue again and again, because there seems to be no end in sight. They are playing their cardinal role of representation. And as one colleague has mentioned, this goes beyond Dr. Kiza Besigye, the NUP, political prisoners, and others. It's for all of us that the Supreme Court of the land issued a directive, and to date there is ping pong. Honorable Speaker, each day that passes by, people are suffering, and yet they should not. And that's our concern. So the reason people keep raising this matter, and I want to appreciate colleagues who keep raising this matter. I know, Right Honourable Speaker, you're saying they keep raising it so that they are seen to talk. Well, we come here to talk on behalf of people out there. And like I said, even if it is one person, we should fight for the right of that one individual. Honourable Speaker, government needs to help us. Because yesterday we were with the Attorney General. He did not help us. I think he was being quixotic on many things. Back and forth, saying this, that, and the other. And so there was no end in sight. I'm hoping that the Deputy Attorney General, who is here, will help us to shape up, whether it be some kind of timeline, whether it be some kind of hope that what the Supreme Court ordered is going to be followed. That's the cry of us, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. And I really want to appreciate you, because the same with Honourable Dur. Okay, if this was put to government, I would call on government to answer. I can't answer on their behalf. Attorney General.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to appreciate Honourable Jonathan Odur, who was more direct, like the others who intended to reopen debate that we had yesterday. I do understand the anxiety and the need to know what is going on following the decision of the Supreme Court. But I want you to understand that there are procedures, there are processes to be followed. As Attorney General's chambers, we would expect that if the court-martial is to hand over the files, because remember the Supreme Court says the trials should cease and be transferred. So once they do that, they would copy us in as Attorney General's chambers. We have not yet received that copy. And I'm not going to stand here before Parliament and commit and say we'll table a copy of the transfer list, because I do not know how fast it is being worked upon. However, what I can say as Attorney General's chambers, that we will continue to engage with the court-martial and the others involved to see to it that this judgment is put in effect. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Attorney General. I don't have anyone on the floor. Yes. I think what Attorney General has answered is in relation to yesterday's. Since yesterday there are no new updates. If I
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. With all due respect to the Land Attorney General, he has just made a huge contradiction of his superior. Yesterday, his superior informed this House that as far as the court ruling and orders stand, there is no court-martial in existence. For him, he is informing us that he is still engaging with the court-martial. Mr. Speaker, sir. So which is which?
And I think that's why we need to give them time to go and reconcile among themselves. To know. because I think maybe the deputy has not yet been updated on what the Attorney General is having, or I don't know. So
I have said clearly, in as far as the enforcement of the Supreme Court order is concerned, the organs that are supposed to enforce it have not copied to us the steps being taken. What the Attorney General presented yesterday.
Order, point of order.
You see, Mr. Speaker, I now can understand why the Honorable Kafuzi left this to join NRM. You are the one who went to court. You are the Attorney General. And the court gave you instructions. Now you are saying they haven't copied it to you. Where were you? You went to court, took a matter, the Supreme Court made a ruling. Is the Honorable Kafuzi in order to pretend that he must be activated by people who didn't go to court, yet it is the Attorney General's chambers that went to court? Is he in order?
I think these are quarrels between OBs, because you can see even how they started. I understand why you left us, you went here, you know, these are quarrels between OBs, which can be solved in court. But, honorable colleagues, tomorrow we expect to have a Minister for Justice here, and he's the one who oversees the justice, law and justice sector. I will require him to update us, to give us an update in terms of implementation. The one who oversees the whole sector of land justice. It is, let's handle it that way. Next item.